love boxing. I love the art of it. When I train my hardest. Boxing is the most honest sport. If you say you're a warrior, the truth comes out in the ring. I know that as long as I get to the ring, I'm gonna be great. But I can never underestimate anybody. If he makes it hard, so be it. I'm ready for it.
Ryan Garcia is being groomed for greatness. Can he do it as he takes on tougher and tougher competition?
I'm ready to show the world there's no limit to how good I could really be. I did what I always do. Seek, destroy, take you away. But beautifully.
Welcome to the sunny city of Los Angeles, California. We are here live at the historic Biltmore Hotel for the weigh-in. Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna. Thanks for joining us. I go by the name of Ak. I'm here with my bro, the boxing bully Barack, and
Yes,
LA
sir.
legend, Beto Duran. You know, before live, you know, you told me about the historic weigh-ins that have been held in this building. Now I'm getting fight jitters. Now this is feeling nostalgic. Talk about those old weigh-ins that have been held here.
You know, you've had many historic press conferences over the years of, you know, whether it was Tyson or was it Mayweather or
Wait,
you know,
did Mike Tyson eat somebody's kids here?
See,
Did he eat somebody's
we're
kids
like
here?
30 seconds into the show already.
I'm sorry, I'm the bully.
Already
I'm
go,
sorry.
yeah, you are. But no, it's cool. It's a historic building. But you know, Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna has that little extra pizzazz this week because of where we're at today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the difference. Look, no disrespect to Emmanuel Tago a few months back. You know, it was a comeback of Ryan, but it wasn't the fight that has that feeling that this one has. We have an opponent here that has supreme confidence in himself. In Fortuna, he feels like he can knock Ryan out. It's to me, it smells like fireworks.
And I love the confidence from Fortuna. It's great. Dominican Republic fighter who was good at 130. But the thing about Fortuna, he's been wanting this fight because last summer it was supposed to be Ryan and Fortuna. Ryan decided to take a mental health break. Joseph Diaz Jr. stepped in and shut out Fortuna. And Fortuna is a smaller guy. He did well at 130. I even asked him at the press conference, like, dude, where's his confidence coming from? He goes, oh, because I know I have to win. I have to knock him out.
Right.
Okay, so that's his attitude. He said, I can't leave it up to the judges. That's cool and all, but Ryan's a bad dude.
Ryan's
man.
a bad
And
guy.
big.
He's a big guy, too, and that's the difference here. I think that Fortuna not only did good at 130, I think he's a knockout puncher at 130. I think in 135 he did well as a boxer. Now, can that boxer withstand Ryan's power, skill, and and just pressing him all 12 rounds?
Outside of all of those intangibles, Barack, Ryan has an extra chip on his shoulder because he felt very disrespected about Fortuna not really believing the break that he needed was genuine. He felt like the mental stress that he was going through, that it was a fluke, it wasn't real. He didn't want to fight him. Ryan was very offended by that, so he has extra oomph to knock him out because of that.
I think Luke Campbell is the better win, actually. I mean, even if he beats Fortuna, I think Luke Campbell was a better win, gold medalist in the Olympics, so I don't think that's the case. I just think Fortuna's just trying to make himself confident.
And he's also trying to get under his skin, too. That's another thing. Like they've been all week long there. They had pleasantries. They saw each other at the media workout. But yesterday at the press conference, it was cool. And the first couple questions, it was like typical press conference. Yeah, here to fight, blah, blah, blah. Then?
No, I mean, I think that was a little preview
Yeah.
as to what we're going to get today.
No, but he gave him a hat, though. He gave him a hat.
Oh, okay, well,
Fortuna gave.
So what happened was Ryan said,
but you know what?
okay,
Let's
you
go.
got?
Let's go to
Oh, yeah, we got
yesterday,
tape,
to
we
the
got
press
tape, we got tape,
conference
yeah.
so they can check it out.
The boogeyman slayer.
Yeah, I'm
I slayed the
boogeyman.
boogeyman.
Yeah,
I slayed the
boogeyman.
boogeyman. I'm scared of the
Man, you haven't
boogeyman.
been
I never been scared of the
Never.
boogeyman. As a kid, I
Never.
never been scared.
Never.
I'm a dog.
Never.
Yeah, let's get it.
You know, Barack, it seems like fighters that don't really speak English, when it comes to those weigh-ins and on face-off, they pull English words out of the air, and
First
Javier
of
did
all,
yesterday.
you didn't know that boogeyman was a universal language?
Yeah,
everybody
evidently.
knows the boogeyman. It's just that I don't know if Javier Fortuna is a
Yeah.
boogeyman or when. And I'm not trying to say when I said Luke Campbell's a better win, I'm saying Luke Campbell's a better win at 135.
Yeah, the
That's what
resume
I'm
that he
saying.
has at
Right.
135.
But overall, he's a better win. Let's be honest.
I don't know. Fortuna was good at 130. He was a champion.
It's
I
also
can't
let's
say
see what
that
he
Luke was
does.
never
Let's
a
see what he
champion.
does because JoJo went the distance with him. Let's see what Ryan.
Yeah.
That's also something too. Ryan's going to do a lot of. Well, what did you do against him? I'm going to do this against him. But Ryan coming out and saying I'm the boogeyman slayer. So he got back and forth because it started because Ryan said, oh, I like Fortuna's hat. And he's like, oh, I'll give it to you. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
that was
this is
good.
nice. We're going to be nice to each other. Let's give each other a hat. And Ryan gave him his own hat. And then Fortuna said, just because I have your hat doesn't mean I'm not going to come and knock
But he
your
said
head
it
out.
in his face.
oh, in his face, yeah. He got up and got out of there, so we appreciate
You
that.
know, better, you mentioned that he went the distance with Jojo Diaz, was a very good fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's a measuring stick for Ryan Garcia now. He's like, hey, I have to beat him in better impressive fashion than Jojo did. So there's a little added pressure to stop him.
And also, you're doing it at Crypto.com Arena, which used to be Staples Center, which is where Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal won a lot of titles. They, you know, Nipsey Hussle had his funeral there. Michael Jackson had a funeral. So it's historic. And for you to fight there, and it's not just the lower bowl. The tickets are being sold upstairs. So the nosebleeds are going to have some tickets too. So you got to come out and show out.
Yeah, well, before that main event, obviously, we got to get the crowd warm up with the preliminary fights. So we're going to start off the weigh-in with the 4-rounder lightweights. Let's go to Joe Martinez.
Well, fight fans, a very good afternoon. Welcome to the Biltmore Millennium here in Los Angeles, California, for an exciting night of boxing headed our way tomorrow night from Crypto.com Arena here in Los Angeles. Garcia, Fortuna coming up in the battle for Los Angeles. It's all brought to you by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and sponsored by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Uncle Bud's Hemp and CBD. Relax, recover, reset. Also in association with Masculine. It's mentality. Don't be a man, be the man. Gymshark, the official apparel sponsor of Ryan Garcia. If you have tickets for tomorrow night's event at Crypto.com, well, we look forward to seeing you there. If not, please go to Axis.com. They are available on their website. And of course, you can stop by the box office at Crypto.com Arena and get yourself a seat for tomorrow night's action. Well, fight fans, then, we welcome you to the official weigh-in. We're going to do our preliminary fights first. This will be the first 3 bouts on the card, starting at 2 p.m. when the doors open, and then we'll go live with our Dazn worldwide feed at 5 Pacific. So let's bring these fighters up in this lightweight attraction, 4 rounds scheduled with Abdiel Padilla and Miguel Gayona. Once again, the doors will open at 2 o'clock tomorrow at Crypto.com Arena. And for fight fans watching at home online, you can tune in to Dazn. Get the app, $99 gets you a full year subscription to the premier boxing network in the world, Dazn. And making his way up to the stage, please welcome from Caguas, Puerto Rico, Abdiel Padilla. And of course, his opponent, he fights out of the red corner tomorrow night from Los Angeles, undefeated Miguel Gayona. Padilla will be first on the scale. From the hometown of Miguel Cotto, Caguas, Puerto Rico, his 4th professional fight. Here's Abdiel Padilla. .136 for Padilla. 136 is good in this lightweight bout. And now here is Miguel Gayona, 2-0 with a knockout from Los Angeles. 138.6 for Gayona. Show opener tomorrow at 2 p.m. from Crypto.com Arena, Abdiel Padilla of Puerto Rico and Miguel Gallona, the undefeated lightweight from Los Angeles.
You know, like, I like these 4-round fights, you know, because this is new to them. These face-offs are new to them, so that you can see the nerves on their faces. You know, they're about to go to battle.
I don't know. Padilla didn't really look nervous to me.
Nah,
I kind
he
of looked
doesn't.
happy to be here. Like,
No, he was
And
excited.
Gaona is a kid who's here from nearby El Sereno. He's 2-0. He trains with Joel Diaz, so he brings a crowd. This kid has over 200,000 followers on social media, man. He's a businessman.
yeah, you sure he didn't buy some of those?
Nah, man, he's doing work. He'll do your car if you need something, man.
I'll tell you one thing, though, but the first fight of the evening usually is in an empty arena.
This guy sells a lot of tickets, man. He's going to have some people
Also,
there.
think
Yeah.
you have a nice little crowd
Oh,
there.
yeah, he will. He will. He brings a crowd, and I was surprised like when he fought last year at LAFC Stadium. I'm like, man, who's this guy? Another influencer trying to do something? I was like, no, he can box it. Then Joel Diaz trains him out at Coachella. I'm like, oh, Joel doesn't just take on anybody.
He doesn't. So
Bernache first up on the stage, and here comes Diego de la Hoya, returning to the ring from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. Enrique Bernache from Guadalajara, 24-13 as a professional, 12 knockouts to his credit. Ten rounds of featherweight action between these two boxing warriors from Mexico. All right, here is Enrique Bernache, first on the scale. 125.2, Bernache, 125.2. His opponent, 22-1 with 10 knockouts from Mexicali, Diego de la Hoya. 126 even for de la Hoya, 126. Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix in attendance this afternoon for the weigh-in, calling action live tomorrow on Dazn from Crypto.com Arena. Beto Duran up on stage, telling lies. And again, fight fans, be sure to download the Access app. That's AXS. All your tickets are available on that app for tomorrow. As we get ready for our face-off with Enrique Bernache and Diego de la Hoya.
You know, it's always good to have that
battle
De La
for
Hoya
Mexico.
last name.
Yeah, these two don't like each other. So this is the third
Obviously.
time it was supposed to happen because of injuries to Diego. It was canceled, then COVID canceled it. So Bernache has been saying that Diego's been avoiding him. Diego hasn't been in the ring since 2019 because of injuries and also family issues. So now Bernache is like, well, finally you get to face me. And Diego is taking this one personally as he moves up to 126.
right, they fought in 2019. It was a headbutt, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and that's what ended the fight.
And
right.
then they're supposed to rematch, and Bernache is like, you were dirty, this and that. So he's been calling him out on social media. Diego's like, doesn't talk much, but he's like, I just want to kick his ass already, man.
I don't even think that headbutt was Diego's fault in,
No.
in that particular fight. So
No.
I don't even know why he's saying that.
Yeah, no. All right, listen, our first ever Ryan Garcia NFT drop. Any buyer purchasing a pack will receive a limited edition Ryan Garcia NFT for free, as well as qualify to win Garcia merch. Go to Dazn.com for more info on this. Go to DAZNboxing.io for more information on that. Don't drop the bone of NFTs. Jump on that. Let's continue with the weigh-in. Let's go back to Joe Martinez.
All right, we will conclude now our preliminary round of action. This is our preliminary first 3 bouts tomorrow afternoon, starting at 2 o'clock ahead of our 5 p.m. live worldwide feed on DAZN. This is a title eliminator, 12 rounds, WBA, minimum weight eliminator. It's brought to you by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, and this fight in association with Cotto Promotions. First up on the stage from the Philippines, Victorio Saludar. And his opponent from Villalba, Puerto Rico, here is Oscar Collazo. Saludar first on the scale, 21-5 with 11 knockouts from Palomalo, Philippines. 104.2 for the Filipino. Victorio Saludar, his opponent, ready to step on the scale from Puerto Rico. He did 4-0 with 3 knockouts. It's Oscar Collazo. 105 pounds for Collazo. Victorio Saludar of Palomalo, Philippines, 21-5, 11 knockouts, takes on undefeated Villalba, Puerto Rican, 4-0, 3 knockouts, Oscar Collazo. This is our final preliminary bout tomorrow afternoon at Crypto.com here in Los Angeles.
Alberto, both of these guys look in shape, ripped up.
They really are. 105 pounds. The thing about Collazo, only his 5th pro fight in an eliminator. A lot of talent behind him. Roberto Diaz, Golden Boy Matchmaker, were saying they're really high on this young man because of his amateur pedigree of what he does, and he gets after it. But if you see him walking in, very soft-spoken, wears glasses, but the word on him is he comes to just knock people out.
Listen, I was never 105 pounds,
No.
first of all. What is it going to take for this weight class to become more popular? Is it that we need to see knockouts?
Well, it's hard to find guys at this weight, but the Saludar, the Filipino, is a tough opponent. This is a good scrap right here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys can punch. Like, you go back to Michael Carbajal days, all those guys, Chiquita Gonzalez, they were big punchers, so we just got to find that one.
Absolutely. And if anybody could find that one, it's who?
Who? The Philly legend is joining us now. I mean, undisputed. He's so many belts, so many accomplishments. He's a promoter. He's sitting down with us, our guy, Bernard Hopkins. Listen, Bernard, welcome to the show. I remember
Likewise.
a few months ago
can I get one too? Thank you.
Yeah, I give you one.
in San-
a little delayed, but I'm good.
in San Antonio. Ryan was coming back from his hiatus. We chopped it up on the show then, and we didn't know what to expect. New trainer, Goosen. He fought a guy that was surviving for 12 rounds. He could not get to him. Did you see an improvement? Did you see a difference in his style with the new trainer?
I see just what I expected, coming off that year and some months and dealing with his, personal problems and mental. The world knows it in boxing. But what I seen him do as he made those adjustments, I seen him not lose focus, and that's the key, because if it would have been a quick knockout, we wouldn't have seen too much. It would have been like, okay, he had somebody, they gave him a couple of minutes, and that's it. But he got more than that, and I seen what he needed. He needed to get some rounds in. He needed to understand how he has to put everything to the side and now turn the second page of his career to go forward to get the big fights and the super fights and be one day the pound for pound fighter in boxing. Wow. That comes in time, and it also comes in patience.
That's a really good point. You know what I realized, that a lot of old timers, because back in our day when we were young, we didn't know about that word anxiety. We didn't have the liberty to take off time and from work or for whatever. And now people are understanding that that's something that's needed. And you know, I don't understand why old timers are not really giving people that credit. And Javier Fortuna is one of them. He's like, yo, I don't understand that. You were scared. How do you feel about that?
I think that, you know, ignorance is contagious. And what you don't know, you can't really understand until you face it, or somebody that you love or somebody that you know personally. Then you understand. You know, it could be in the personal, it could be in athletic life. Then you will understand when it hits home. You know, and a lot of us, we have to go through that hit home first, or somebody's close to us where we can really like, well, that is true. Like, that wasn't just game. Like, it wasn't just scared. It's real.
Yeah, no, that's
and let me tell you something, Barack. In the last, say, 2.5 years, a lot of strong had bit the dust, not just in death or life or death, based on like not being prepared. Who can prepare themselves for something they don't know until it happens? And Ryan, out of nowhere, I was just as shocked when I heard it as probably the boxing world. So he's young, he has hundreds of thousands of followers, in some cases millions. and let me tell you something. It took everybody by surprise, but the people that know, that have somebody in their life or somebody that they care about went through that, they understand. And a lot of people, I say it again, and you said it also, are starting to really find out and not living in the dinosaur days. We'd be like, oh man, there's anxiety. What are you talking about? We didn't diagnose it. We didn't recognize it.
That's what it was, right.
Because let me tell you something. Now that I know what it is, I had it since kindergarten. I had it since kindergarten.
That's a great
point.
point.
Can you imagine me being quiet in class? I stand in the corner all the time.
No, I mean, that's a great point, because even myself, I found myself arguing with people on social media, defending him because I've experienced it. Even myself, anxiety, and people that are close to me. So you're kind of, everybody who's experienced some of it becomes an advocate for it to defend Garcia. And the fact that he was that young and that much at stake, right? A fighter that, to your point, a lot of followers, making money, a star on social media. So to be brave enough at that age to come out and say, you know what, I'm not fighting. No, I need my mental break. That's maturity.
And recognizing, I believe you. I mean, I definitely understand. For him to acknowledge it, being at that stage of his life and young, who's not embarrassed or don't look at it as being some kind of, that's not lack of toughness. All the things that the bravo that we, you know, that we have in us as men.
Ego,
Ego.
Absolutely.
He put all that to the side and came out and let everybody know, look, I'm not right. And you know, it's sad, but it is what it is when people make fun of those things and realize you got people that want to check out because of that. You got people that have checked out. I know, I'm not going to mention names, but people that I know, family, like, they had so much going on, they had a great job, making good money. You wonder what happened? Great family, like, what happened? It's possible, we know that, and it's real. It's definitely real.
Right. When Ak introduced you, he called you a legend. You're also a legend, you know, in the ring, out the ring, but of press conferences. You know how to stir the pot. You know how to get your opponent angry. Do you think that's what Fortuna was doing yesterday? Do you think he's really that confident, or he's just trying to get inside?
I'm gonna say you think that was a classic move on trying to rattle Ryan emotions, because he is an emotional guy, which he has to work on it. And I'm gonna say that as a concern, but also as a person to know that he's going through those steps where he's going to find out a lot the things. We see him go down and got up.
Right. Yes.
Got his ass up and did what he had to do.
He has that mental toughness.
But let me tell you, he has the mental toughness. But the emotions has to be controlled, where fighters can't push a button no matter if they talk about your mama. And that's deep.
Yes.
Because now you be able to say, okay, as the great Roy Jones would say, I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, but can you use that as fuel, though? But no, can you use that as fuel? If somebody is trying to get in your head, maybe they do to some degree, get you a little upset, but maybe you can use that in the fight as some fuel with an extra chip on your shoulder.
You're one of those fighters that had to get upset,
hold up, but
right?
you can. But let's see if the test can be repeated over and over and over again, because once it's out there that you can get a person riled up,
right.
that's gonna be implicated by others who's watching, who's looking to get that fight in, especially as the competition gets more dangerous and more riskier. A lot of buttons going to be pushed. How do you take that? Respond to it. Don't, by no means, I'll be a hypocrite telling you don't respond to it, because I responded to everything. But it's how you take it after that. Do you go out there mad? The worst thing you can do is fight mad, fight smart, and that's key.
All right, well, we got a great fight card tomorrow, man. Like, obviously, we got the prelims fights with Miguel Gaona. We saw the weigh-ins earlier, Padilla. But on the main fight card, well, after that, Collazo, Salvador, and we got Enrique Bernache, Diego De La Hoya. We saw these guys weigh in. I'm excited about the main fight card. Ricardo Sandoval, all right, versus David Martinez. Both guys, obviously David Jimenez, rather, he is undefeated 11-0. We got Lamont Rocha Jr., who had a tough loss.
Did you have to say Rocha, though?
Rocha Jr. versus
you just put everybody's name in Spanish.
Angel Rodriguez. I like saying the Spanish names in the Spanish. This is WA Super Featherweight title eliminator. Yeah. Alexis Rocha versus Luis Borran. And obviously the main event, Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna. Highly anticipated fight because we talked about the fact that they were supposed to fight. So there's some history there. Javier feels like that he didn't want to fight him, or he took the break. So this is a highly anticipated matchup, even though he lost to Jojo Diaz in a tough fight.
Right.
There's a lot to prove.
Does that mean that he's still a threat or not? But who knows?
All right. Well, let's check it out.
Boxing, I love the art of it. When I train my hardest. Boxing is the most honest sport. If you say you're a warrior, the truth comes out in the ring. I know that as long as I get to the ring, I'm gonna be great. But I can never underestimate anybody. If he makes it hard, so be it. I'm ready for it.
Garcia is being groomed for greatness. Can he do it as he takes on tougher and tougher competition?
I'm ready to show the world there's no limit to how good I could really be.
I did what I always do. Seek, destroy, take you away. But beautifully.
Look, Barack, I know it's not as easy to knock people out as a lot of fight fans may think, but there is pressure for Ryan Garcia to make a statement against Fortuna. Here's a guy that doesn't get knocked out, right? Here's a guy that just went the distance with a great fight in Jojo Diaz. But Ryan, a lot is expected from this young man.
Right. You know, I think he was stopped by Sosa only. You know, and the thing is that you know where the pressure comes from? The pressure comes from Ryan, and Ryan keeps saying he's gonna knock him out, and he's putting the pressure on himself.
But it's not about what he's saying. He's been a knockout artist most of his career.
80%.
Yeah, I mean, look, people say, hey, when your level of opposition goes up, you stop knocking guys out. Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell that went to distance with Lomachenko knocked him out. So he's still stopping guys at that high level.
Right.
We all saw that Emmanuel Tago did not want to get knocked out, but survived for 12 rounds. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to call a spade a spade. It's hard to knock a guy out that doesn't want to get knocked out.
I thought he was going to say the run word. I thought he was going to say the track star.
Oh, he's a track star.
Look at the timing he has. Look at the timing, the speed, the power. The thing is that you can't knock everybody out if you go into a fight thinking you're going to knock everybody out, and you're saying you're going to knock everybody out, and then after the fight, they're going to say you failed.
Well, you have to, a knockout artist has to set traps. To your point, you can't just try to knock out. That can't be the agenda. I mean, there are guys, the exception like Mike Tyson, those guys, that was the agenda from the very beginning of the fight. But
he knock you out by accident.
You know? Right, but a guy like Ryan who has speed, right, and power, the best thing to do is to time your opponent to set that knockout out. And I think with Emmanuel Tago, he was trying to knock him out, to your point, the entire fight. I think there's a different game plan for this fight. We all know how great of a trainer Goosen is, and we spent some time with Ryan Garcia in camp. We saw what he was doing with his sparring partners, and we also got a chance to talk to Joe. Joe said, hey, that first one, we were getting warmed up. Expect something drastic on Saturday.
You know me, I hate to always talk one-sided of a fight. You know, we got Javier Fortuna, who's actually, this is actually a former champion that Ryan gets to have on his resume if he's able to win. This, you know, when you count how many champions somebody fought, this is number one for him. This is an accomplished guy who was really good at 130, had power at 130. 135, he was more of a boxer, moving around a lot, but he was tricky. I say Robert Easter, they should have gave him that fight probably. And that's who Ryan is fighting. So, yeah, he didn't look tremendous against Jojo Diaz, but he's still who he is.
Right, but the sad thing about this, Barack, and I love all of those points that you brought up. I totally agree with you. I think this is more than just a credible opponent. And not to mention, you mentioned the accolades, but here's a guy that believes he can beat Ryan, right? But should he win in dramatic fashion, he won't get the credit he deserves because he just lost to Jojo Diaz. That's the sad thing about boxing. When guys beat credible guys, they don't always get the credit.
Yeah, and I think that psychologically he's trying to, you know, alter Ryan's feelings. And he, like Bernard says, he's emotional. You know, he's emotional, so he's trying to get him, giving him his hat. I don't know what that meant.
What was that?
Giving Ryan your hat.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know. You're trying to bring him down and then say, but I'm still going to knock you out.
And we mentioned earlier, you know, he talked about being a boogeyman. I know he's a guy that maybe some guys avoided, but maybe he jumped the gun and jumped out the window calling himself the boogeyman. Yeah. Maybe, you know, that's the word that he knows. Maybe somebody in his family called him the boogeyman.
Yeah. I don't think anybody avoided him at 135 pounds. Not at all. Nobody avoided him at 135. Maybe at 130.
I agree with you. Listen, let's talk about Alexis Rocha, man. I mean, look, obviously he scored a big knockout against Cobbs. You know, we saw Cobbs training actually in the Freddie Roach gym. He's trying to get back in it. Cobbs had a hell of a
wow. Look at that shot. I mean, this was so unexpected if you ask me. I didn't expect this. And not just because of what Cobbs says, but you know, he's a very athletic guy. He's fast. He's flashy. I did not expect this at all.
Yes, say it. He's a big trash talker, right? So
I said.
So Rocha.
I said. I don't even know what I said.
Rocha put him in his place, but
I said flashy, not trashy. Flashy.
I think there's room for Cobbs to come back, but Rocha has a good fight. But listen, to the main card, right? We about to get the weigh-in started. We're getting closer to Ryan Garcia and Fortuna stepping on the scale. So let's swing over to our guy Joe Martinez to continue with the weigh-in.
Well, fight fans, a very good afternoon and welcome to the historic Millennium Biltmore here in Los Angeles, California, the official host for Garcia Fortuna, going down tomorrow night live on Dazn from Crypto.com Arena here in LA. It's all brought to you by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and sponsored by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Uncle Bud's Hemp and CBD, relax, recover, reset. And Masculine, it's mentality, don't be a man, be the man. And Gymshark, the official apparel of Ryan Garcia. Well, fight fans, we are set to go again. This is our official weigh-in, kicking off live 5 p.m. tomorrow night. You can catch the action live on our worldwide feed on Dazn. Download the app, and if you are local, please get your tickets at the box office at Crypto.com Arena, or download the AXS app, that's Access, and get yourself in the door for what should be a great fight card tomorrow evening, brought to you by Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. So let's get this thing going right now. 12 rounds in this WBA Flyweight title eliminator. First up on the stage to step on the scale from Costa Rica, David Jimenez. And his opponent, 20-1, this young flyweight battler from Rialto, California, Ricardo Sandoval. Again, a 12-round WBA flyweight title eliminator. Costa Rica takes on the Rialto native, Ricardo Sandoval. David Jimenez will be first on the scale. Here's Jimenez. 111.2. 111.2 for the Costa Rican from Cartago, David Jimenez. The Costa Rican is ready for action, and here comes his opponent from Rialto, Ricardo Sandoval. 111.8 for Sandoval, 111.8. David Jimenez Medallita from Cartago, Costa Rica, takes on the Rialto native, 20-1 with 15 knockouts. Ricardo Sandoval, this eliminator in the flyweight division for the WBA. The winner gets the champ. This will be live first up on Dazn tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific.
All the way from Costa Rica. You know, I mean, look, this is going to be a banger. Small guys, but they bang hard.
Are we going to see a knockout then? Small guys as a banger, you think?
I'm hoping. Well, you talked about it earlier that little guys need to start knocking guys out.
Right, so we can get some popularity in the division. That's the thing. We need some Naseem Hamed power down there.
That's special power. That's special power. Naseem Hamed, I mean, this guy was an anomaly,
yeah.
But there were a few.
That's scary power. But look, we've seen it in the lighter weights. Julio Cesar Martinez, we see he's got it. Bam Bam Rodriguez, if he go up a weight division, has got the power as well. We've seen that recently.
Well, let's get this man a proper introduction all the way
Thank you very
from
much.
across the
I mean, it only took me 11 hours to get it from the UK. I mean, it'd be nice to get
and you're fitting right in. You got your shirt bust open for that Cali weather at El Oladipo. Our guy, let's go to Beto Duran here for this interview, chopping it up with these guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. And one thing with El Nino Sandoval, let's take you back to your second amateur fight. You lost it. The coach you had at the time left you there, and the trainer you have now, Monchis, saw you in the ring, came and took your headgear off, took your gloves off, and after that, you guys have been a team together, and tomorrow night, you have a chance to fight for the world title eliminator. How special is that bond between you and your trainer?
No, it's very special. You know, I remember that night exactly how it happened. You know, it was my second amateur fight, and I lost. My first trainer, he was kind of devastated. And he left me right there. He was kind of like frustrated, so he left me there. I had my headgear on, I had my two gloves on, and Moncho was right there on the sideline, and he seen me, and he came up, took the gloves out, took the headgear, and I kind of knew him as cause he used to go to the gym I used to go to, and then ever since then I stood. He's been training me since then.
And now you guys are going together tomorrow night at Crypto.com Arena. You're a college student about to graduate with a degree in business. How do you balance that and trying to fight?
That's pretty easy. It's not that bad. It's like I just balance the training, whatever my training is. I go around. I do that at school, and I try to work around it.
Your dedication, right?
Yeah, you gotta stay dedicated.
All right, Ricardo El Nino Sandoval, thank you very much. Good luck to you tomorrow night. And Joe Martinez, who's up next?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We will keep this weigh-in going as we are getting closer to our main event. Garcia, Fortuna again tomorrow night, live on Dazn from Crypto.com Arena here in LA. Let's bring up now this 12-round WBA Super Featherweight title eliminator featuring Angel Rodriguez and Lamont Roach Jr. His way to the stage. He is from Barranquilla, Colombia, Angel Rodriguez. And next to make his way up to the stage from Washington, D.C., Lamont Roach Jr. Rodriguez, the Colombian, comes to us tomorrow night, bringing a professional record 20-1 with 10 knockouts to his credit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. From Barranquilla, Colombia, Angel Rodriguez. 129.2 official weight for the Colombian. And from our nation's capital is his opponent, stepping up onto the scale, Lamont Roach Jr. 129.8 for Roach Jr., 129.8. Angel Rodriguez, the native of Irapa, Venezuela, now residing in Barranquilla, Colombia, and this title eliminator takes on Lamont Roach Jr. The winner gets the champ of the Super Featherweight WBA.
Almost just as important. They're almost just as important as title fights, because that's going to get you the title fight, and they're 12-round fights. So they're looking at it as if it's a title fight.
Well, he's walking around with a belt now. That belt is the I wish I win belt. No, seriously.
Come on, stop throwing shots.
No, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that the pressure is on Lamont Roach.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamont Roach is the one that's had the world title fight before. And I guess, look, how far away is he from Shakur Stevenson and Joe Cordina? They're the number 1 and 2 in the division.
Yeah, well,
so a win over this guy, as you never know, it puts him in a position where, unfortunately, and I say that because Shakur's so good, unfortunately, you got Shakur Stevenson next.
And who wants to rush to fight that guy?
You want to avoid that at all costs for now.
I don't know, but he has the cutest little smile, though. He looks like a nice guy. But you were saying earlier that he's small.
Let's see what Lamont has to say now. He's over with our guy, Beto.
All right, so Lamont Roach Jr., representing Team No Excuse. The guys on stage, Ak, Barak, and Ade, saying the pressure's on you. Do you agree with that?
I mean, if that's what they want to think. I mean,
but what do you think?
What's the pressure? I mean, what's the pressure on me for? I come here to do my job every time, bro. Like, I take care of business. You seen how I got this. I be a guy that's incredibly a better fighter than the guy that I'm fighting now. And we're not overlooking him, but they going to see. If they want the pressure to be on me, they going to see why the pressure should be on me.
All right, you got that attitude. You beat Rene Alvarado in your last fight. You got the shirt, the Reaper, a nickname you picked up not too long ago. What's that mean?
Man, I'm here to clean up everything. They got to come see me. I've been talking to the Reaper in my sleep every day.
And they also mentioned Shakur. You somebody that you sparred with recently in his fight for Oscar Valdez. You know each other. That's a fight that you want, don't you?
Yeah, of course. You know, I respect him as a champion. I respect him as the best in our division, but eventually I'm going to be the best in our division.
You got that little smile on your face. Where's that confidence coming from?
From within me. That's me. You know that. You know that. They know that. Everybody know that.
All right, he's very confident. So pressure, there's no pressure, Barack and Ade. Lamont Rhodes Jr. representing the district and team no excuse. Maybe the pressure's on you guys.
All right, thanks, Berto, for putting us on blast there with Lamont. But we're like that. We're okay.
Pressure means that you got to win. You know, you don't have to feel the pressure, but the pressure's still there.
Yeah, no,
the expectation is still there.
He's got to win. Look, he's the favorite going into this fight.
Yeah.
And he's the one that everyone wants to see against the other world champions. The pressure is on him.
Yeah.
But these are why, you know, you fight on the big shows. Because,
Like
you know, the
mentioned,
pressure's there.
And if he should win and fight the Shakurs, there's going to be even more pressure.
Even more pressure. But that's just what it is at the top of the look, at the top of the food chain. When it comes to the top level in boxing, everyone's under pressure. So we're not trying to throw him under the bus. Everyone's under pressure.
Speaking of the top of the food chain, the top level in boxing, September 17th is going down. The trilogy, Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez. You don't want to miss with him. Check this out.
Very few fights can be called super fights. This is one of them. Both men are firing what they've got.
This is a draw. There has to be a rematch. And new WBC. There's a score to settle.
There's real bad blood here.
Everybody wants to fight, right? He took a lot of shit.
I don't want talking with him. I want to fight.
Look, I know this is a gentleman's sport, but say what you want. When it comes to boxing, bad blood always makes the promotion leading up to the fight so much better. But I want to point one thing out, Addy. Before Canelo Alvarez fought Bivol, all right, the narrative was, I don't know if I want to see Triple G against Canelo. I mean, he's at such a high level. Triple G, some people felt they saw the decline against Murata. Since that Bivol fight, a lot of things have changed. This fight is seen as more competitive fight. It's more realistic that either guy can win. It's better for the promotion.
Yeah, absolutely better. It's better that Canelo lost. I mean, it's a difficult sell, and let's be honest, I know we work for the Dazn platform. It's a difficult sell. If Canelo runs through Bivol, and then it's Canelo versus GGG, that's not easy. Now that Canelo's had a defeat,
good point.
You know, Murata, we saw what GGG did against Murata. You know, he struggled in the early rounds, but then he went through the gears. Now you're thinking, 1 second, GGG still got a little left.
I don't even call that a struggle. Do we call that a struggle?
I didn't. I mean,
Triple G gets hits. I wouldn't even say that's a decline.
Yeah.
Understand
well,
that people were fighting the
that.
Japanese version of Triple G, somebody who's tough in there, somebody who's walking everybody down and stopping them as well.
But we did see him get hurt, unlike we've seen in the past.
Before that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him against Derevyanchenko where he got hurt. And we saw against Murata where he got hurt.
That doesn't mean it's a decline. It just means that somebody actually went to his body.
Are we not kind of putting two together, though? The decline and the age.
But
he's not a 34-year-old coming through anymore. He's 40.
But he had a long break, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes fighters that have been fighting for that many years, and he's been busy, they need a little break. So I didn't see a decline against Murata. I saw a typical vintage Triple G break down his opponent.
I can't give him vintage. I can't give it vintage. It was very good GGG.
No, but why
it
not?
wasn't vintage.
But he was. I mean,
Just tell me why.
When he had his 20 run,
because vintage, you know, vintage GGG, you couldn't hurt him. You couldn't hurt him.
He wasn't hurt in that fight.
He was hurt to the body. Guys,
but that was Derevyanchenko, not in this fight.
Look, talk about the bad blood. I mean, every time these guys, we were at these press conferences, Barack, here in LA and back in New York.
Yes.
Canelo really can't stand Triple G. I know a lot of times it looks good for the promotion and fighters do it to promote. This is genuine animosity.
I'm surprised he's staying, you know, within maybe a foot from Triple G right now, because the first time in LA, he was actually inching closer and closer and
You know what?
closer.
He knows, let's be honest, Canelo knows he can't do the, you know, the quick two-piece that he did to Caleb Plant, because GGG got better hands than Caleb Plant. He can't do that.
Wow.
He can't do that with GGG.
Wow.
I'm a big GGG fan. And I think this fight's a lot closer than people are giving credit for. I really do. I think you know, styles make fights sometimes.
Right.
I even remember when Pacquiao was fighting Marquez. And everyone thought, you know, Marquez is done. Styles make fights. Marquez has a style that always would favor him against Pacquiao. And I think GGG has a style
I agree with
that would always give Canelo trouble.
I agree with that.
Before that fight, though,
Do you know what that style is? I'm sorry. Do you know what that style is? Being able to take his punch.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Being able to take his punch to the face.
But
That's what Triple G has.
let's not rush, man. We have some boxing ahead on the zone. Before that fight, another rising star in the welterweight division, Virgil Ortiz, is coming back in the ring. We know we had some issues. He's back. He's a guy people are mentioning with the Boots Ennises of the world and the Spencers and the Crawford. He's right underneath. He's getting back in the ring.
He is getting back in the ring. Look, and he take on Mickinson from the UK. Now, a lot of fight fans might not be too familiar with Mickinson. I'm telling you now, this guy is awkward. Can he punch? No, he can't punch.
No.
But he's awkward and he makes you work for 12 rounds. And for Ortiz...
It's not going 12 rounds, but go ahead.
You say that, you'll be surprised. But
No.
for Ortiz, you'll be surprised, people. Remember, I did call the Bivol Canelo one and both of you guys were good.
That was
So
easy. That was a 175-pound guy.
No, I will say
No,
this,
you
though.
jinxed the fight.
I
Go
will say
ahead.
this, though. We need to see what Virgil Ortiz looks like at 147 again. The weight's a problem for Virgil Ortiz. There's no two ways about it. He struggles to get into that 147 frame just because he's a growing guy and he might need to move up. So let's see how he makes the weight. If he makes the weight convincingly, as he should, then you're right. He's a truck. He runs through Mickinson. If he struggles with the weight, Mickinson might give him problems because Mickinson makes you work.
Yeah,
he makes
he
you
does.
work for your money, so you'll have to do a lot, Virgil Ortiz. I ain't saying Ortiz going to lose, by the way. Don't put me on blast. I'm not saying
Too
that.
late.
No.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
saying that.
Look at this. He's a
No,
killer.
He's a killer. Yeah.
No, I can't wait to see him back in the ring. But for the co-main event for tomorrow night, Alexis Rocha, he's on fire right now. Let's go over to Joe Martinez, check the weigh-in out.
All right, fight fans, welcome back to the official weigh-in. We are ready now for our co-featured bout tomorrow evening. 10 rounds for the vacant NABO Welterweight Championship. This bout features from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Luis Dazn. He will be first up on the stage right now. 19-4-2 with 9 knockouts to his credit. And his opponent ready to make his walk up to the stage, 19-1 with 13 knockouts, is the heavy-handed southpaw from Santana, California, Alexis Rocha. From the capital city, Buenos Aires, Argentina, here is Luis Dazn. .146 even, Dazn, 146 on the nose. His opponent, 19-1 again with 13 knockouts. Here he is, Alexis Lex Rocha. 146.6 for Lex Rocha from Santana, California. Again, tickets are available at access.com. You can also stop by the crypto.com arena here in Los Angeles for tomorrow's official big fight, the battle for Los Angeles. And if you are not local, you can also stream it live on Dazn, our worldwide feed. Ten-round vacant NABO Welterweight Championship on the line for these two warriors, Argentina's Luis Lucho Verón and Santana's own Alexis Lex Rocha. It's going down tomorrow night, your co-main event from Crypto.com Arena here in LA. The City of Angels putting on the best fights in the world tomorrow night.
Listen, this is going to be a real tournament event. I'm excited about, you mentioned, Ade, how in shape Rocha looks. I mean, he looks like he's ready to knock somebody out.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he struggled to make 147 at all. He looks in fantastic condition. And look, for him, I guess the aim for him is to get into that top 10, right? I mean, you know, the welterweight division is full of sharks. Obviously, we know the top 2. Then after that, there's some really good guys. It's like, can he creep into that top 10 and be in the mix for guys like Avanesian, Cavillascus, those type of guys, and maybe some gatekeepers as well. So big opportunity here for Alexis Rocha. And you got to steal the show. Like, this is a big event. You want to steal the show. Yeah, he's got a chance to.
Especially after the big win over Blair Cobbs, the knockout win. Look, he's a guy that's low-key. He doesn't do much talking. He does his talking in the ring with his fists and the gloves. So after that win, I mean, you want to top that. So I expect to see a good performance by him.
Yeah, 100%. I know that win over Cobbs gave him some momentum, but I think he's just trying to erase the Rashidi Ellis loss.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to our guy, Beto, who's chopping it up with Rocha.
You know, Alexis, you're coming off a big victory over Blair Cobbs. You even gave us the woo afterwards in the ring. Are you going to knock this guy out?
I mean, I always go to every fight approaching the same just to hurt this guy, and if the knockout prevents himself, and then I'm going to go and take a full approach of it.
That's a real professional answer, but I know you have a different answer.
The goal is to knock him out, yes.
All right, there you go. See, you've been puffing your chest out a little bit more. You should be. You're feeling pretty good. How was this camp for you with TKO Boxing?
I mean, camp's been great. You know, I got to thank my team, Hector Lopez, Cesar Campos, Robert Villaseñor, SOA Boxing, Call Attorneys. You know, thank you all for the tremendous support. It's been a great camp. What can I say, Beto?
All right, this division, you look at it. I know you're not going to say, I want to fight so-and-so, but you feel like you're knocking on the door, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm knocking on the door. I'm right there, guys. So stay tuned. I'll show the world who Alexis Rocha is.
And we'll see that Saturday night. And Alexis, thank you very much. From Santana, California, not too far from Crypto.com Arena. Let's go back to Ak and Barack.
You know, I like Rocha, man. I know he had a tough fight, loss against Rashidi Ellis, who's one of the premier welterweights in the world, but I see good things for him.
Is he one of the premier welterweights? Well, forget about that. Listen, but he's looking confident. I've never really seen Rocha that confident. And I know you guys mentioned the way he looks physically, yes, but I think it's that confidence that makes him train harder and come in looking like this.
Yeah, he's going to have that. Look, Blair Cobbs came in speaking all the smack you can speak in the world, right? Yeah. And that kind of creates a bit of pressure for someone like Alexis Rocha because he's not a smack talker. But then he went in the ring, and as you said, he let the fist do the talking, got the stoppage, and that's a case of moving on.
Speaking of smack talking, Fortuna is a smack talker. Garcia is.
You like that segue? That's a good segue. That's a good segue.
But yesterday, I felt like Garcia was a bit friendly. I don't know, maybe he's saving the drama for today at the weigh-in. He was a bit friendly. He let him take his hat. It was all cool. I mean, he had responses to him calling himself the Boogeyman. He called himself the Boogeyman Slayer, but I didn't see an aggressive Ryan Garcia. I seen smiles. I guess he's saving it for the ring, but I expect him to be a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive today at the weigh-in.
No, I think he was aggressive. He's just not to the level of Fortuna was, that's all, you know, because Fortuna looks like he was about to mess up the whole fight.
Right. No, I mean, look, we've seen worse face-offs than that. It wasn't that bad. I mean, these guys they weren't really pushing each other. There was a lot of talking.
But when you put your hands in somebody's face, the next step is maybe
slap
it out.
Some kind
of movement.
But I believe that those type of moments, you know, they go boxing viral. Those always help the promotion. I mean, that little him calling himself the Boogeyman, I think it helps with the promotion. And maybe Ryan went back home and he did a little, you know, planning. Maybe he's planning something today. But I like that. I think boxing needs that.
But look, if you're Ryan, you're super confident right now. You know, you had that fight against Emmanuel Tagle. Remember, only his first fight under Joe Goosen. This is his second fight. The mental health thing's now been put to the side. He's kind of running away from the issues with the Canelo and Eddie Reynoso. I think right now he's becoming a man. So he's probably thinking, I don't need to trash talk you. As you said, and I'm going to use your line again, we're going to let the fist talk in the ring. And I think that's what we got Saturday night.
And you know, Barack, I mean, we spent some time, and I mentioned it earlier when we was with Roberto. We went to the gym. We went to the Goosen gym, and Ryan invited us to watch him spar. And we enjoyed it. I mean, he was hurting his sparring opponents from one punch as soon as the round started. I mean, in his agenda, outside it, once he got out the sparring, he was like, listen, I want to knock this guy out. No mercy. I mean, he's been getting religious, Barack, but he has a mindset of no mercy, no mercy. I think that's what we're going to see Saturday night.
Yeah, that's one thing he did come back from his hiatus, was talking about no mercy. He was also talking about probably being a little bit more calm and not calling out fighters and stuff like that. Maybe that's what he was practicing yesterday when you saw him at the press conference, where he wasn't so aggressive. I thought he was aggressive enough. He don't want to start, fighting with the guy on stage, but he's just that kind of, he's a nice guy. And
he has to be careful, though, because Javier Fortuna is a good fighter.
Yeah.
This isn't an Emmanuel Tago. This isn't a kind of a warm-up, like welcome back to boxing. He's fighting someone that's a former super featherweight champion, someone that's had some good fights against other lightweights. This is a very, very good opponent. And it's a year in the making as well.
But how confident could he be coming off of a loss with Jojo Diaz?
You remember he had a get back. He had a little get back win, a TKO one rounder.
I understand that, yeah.
But
a journeyman.
Yeah, against a journeyman. But he's been active. Unlike his opponent Ryan Garcia.
Sometimes those confident guys that are going to step in the ring give that big puncher in Garcia more of an opportunity to land that big shot because they come to fight. So that might give Garcia an advantage. Let's check the tail of the tape out right now. Listen, Ryan Garcia, 23 years old, 10 years younger than Javier Fortuna. We talked about how big he is, how much taller than Fortuna, 5'10". This guy's going to grow into possibly one day even a middleweight. I mean, he's obviously 154, 147, 160. Look, I think he can get to that point. I mean, you talk about 5'10" right here. How many middleweights we know that are 5'10" or less? And listen, I think that this size is going to be the difference in the fight.
Yeah.
That's it, point blank period.
100%. Size, speed, power, 100% is going to be the difference.
Let's go to Joe Martinez. Get this going.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. Tomorrow night, it goes down from Crypto.com Arena here in Los Angeles, California, the City of Angels, hosting one of the biggest fights of the year, Garcia Fortuna, and this is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super lightweight division. It's brought to you by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. This fight in association with Samson Boxing. And of course, sponsored by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Uncle Bud's Hemp and CBD, relax, recover, and reset. And Masculine, its mentality, don't be a man, be the man. And Gymshark, the official apparel of Ryan Garcia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are set to bring up our fighters. We introduce to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, bringing a professional record of 37 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw with 26 big wins coming by way of knockout, the former WBA Featherweight World Champion, former WBA Super Featherweight World Champion, the former IBF Lightweight Champion of the World from La Romana de la República Dominicana. Here is Javier El Abejón Fortuna. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. 22 professional fights, he is perfect. 22 wins, no defeats, 18 big wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the undefeated former WBC interim lightweight world champion. He is the fighting pride of Victorville, California. Here is King Ryan Garcia.
Let's get it.
Javier Fortuna first on the scale, former three division world champion. Fortuna 139.8. 139.8. Again, tickets are available, access.com. You can stop by the Crypto.com Arena here in LA. Get yourself in the door for the Battle of Los Angeles. It's going down tomorrow night at Crypto.com Arena. Of course, live worldwide on Dazn. And he is primed and ready to go, ready to get back into the ring. The rising superstar, the super lightweight division, undefeated, high desert native. Here he is, Ryan Garcia. 140 even, 140 even. Main event action tomorrow night brought to you by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions in association with Samson Boxing. Bringing you the battle in Los Angeles. Words have been exchanged. These two do not like each other. And tomorrow night, we will find out who will be the man in the super lightweight division. Fortuna and Garcia, your main event tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, a little respect here? Okay. Okay,
what is he giving him now? What did he just give him?
I don't know. These fighters are giving each other gifts now
I
at
want
the
to know.
weigh-ins.
I want to know what did he hand him.
We'll chop it up with Ryan a little later, so we'll ask him what that whole thing was about. But let's talk about the weigh-in. Eddie, Ryan always looks in shape.
Yeah.
He looks in better shape than I've ever seen him before, and Javier Fortuna looks in less of a shape. Maybe it's the weight.
Can I say something about that, though?
Sure.
All right, you're in shape at 140 pounds, right? Meaning no fat to lose, because look, he looks ripped. How do you go back to 140? You lose muscle now. 135 rather.
Right.
You lose muscle now. That's
I
don't like.
Not necessarily. I mean, he's been at 135 and he's still been.
But he's never been 140 and ripped. Is what I'm trying to say.
I've never seen him in that kind of shape. Like he looks in incredible shape, and I'm with Barack here. I don't see how you take 5 pounds off that body.
If you do, it's muscle.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Whereas Fortuna looks like he really should be fine at 130. I'm not even saying 135. I'm saying 130.
He's a little smooth.
What I will say about Fortuna, and we haven't given him credit for, maybe you don't take him credit for this, he's the master of the dark arts, you know? Yeah. Elbows, headbutts, low blows. Ryan has to be careful of those type of things. Ryan's not really been in there with someone that comes and really wants to make it dirty. It's always been quite clean with Ryan. He might have to be careful of stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's go to Broder to find out if he feels that comfortable at 140 over with Javier Fortuna.
And Javier, you handed Ryan something. What did you give him?
Le di un reloj que se trajo junto con el mío ayer y me di cuenta en un video que era de él y me dirigí a mi promotor y a mi entrenador y se lo entregué.
Well, yesterday, my watch got caught onto his, and I noticed that later, after when I saw it in a video, my manager and my trainer told me to give it back to him today.
So you gave him back his watch?
Sí, se lo devolví para atrás, era un Cartier.
¿En un qué?
Cartier.
Okay, I gave it back to him in a little pack.
Un reloj Cartier.
Oh, okay. No entiendo qué es.
Oh, Cartier?
Yeah.
Oh, he gave him a Cartier watch. All right. I thought it was a bag. No, it was the brand. Okay. Now, yesterday, you were in each other's faces. Yesterday, you were saying, I'm going to knock him out. Yesterday was the boogeyman. Today, a lot of respect. What happened?
No, nada. Simplemente respeto por uno es un profesional y actué como profesionalmente y nada, eso fue antes del pesaje, cuando uno tiene siempre la adrenalina.
No, it was nothing. It's professional. I have to act as a professional, and here at the weigh-in, there's adrenaline, but it was nothing.
Yesterday, you said you're going to knock him out. How can you knock out Ryan Garcia?
Ya verán cómo va a pasar todo.
You will see how everything's going to happen.
All right, a lot of confidence, mucha confianza.
Mi entrenamiento van a hablar solo allá arriba del ring.
My training will speak for itself in the ring.
All right, well, thank you. Good luck. Buena suerte. Javier Fortuna representing the Dominican Republic. A lot of respect between the two here at the final weigh-in. Let's go back to Ak and Barack, who have a special guest.
That's right, a special guest, a man of the hour. Look, he says that he's going to let his training do the talking, his fist do the talking. Did he look in shape to you at 140 pounds?
Fuck no.
Whoa, a little
not.
chubby?
Oh, shit. I mean, when I seen him, I was surprised. I was like, why is he so chubby? He had to cut so much weight.
But you shouldn't have been surprised because he couldn't make 135 anyway, so you know it was a struggle.
True. I'm actually surprised he made 140, but I'm not going to look too much into that. We're going to fight, and, the hard work will show in the ring. Yeah. I feel like if he gasses out, it's because he didn't work out.
Yeah, so,
he didn't train.
you're expecting a typical Fortuna, regardless of how he looks physically.
Yeah,
you're
you can
expecting
never
the same
put
guy.
Yeah, you can never put too much into that. You know, guys like Mikey Garcia would come in and he wouldn't look in shape. Neither would Maidana.
Right.
You know,
Chavez Senior.
You know, you can't look too much in. Andy Ruiz. You know, you gotta watch out no matter what.
All right, I've seen Javier Fortuna say that he gave you your watch back. What was going through your mind when he went in his pocket, hand you something, and you saw it?
I mean, my first thoughts were like, what did he do to my watch? Did he spit on it? Or did he put some weird medicine on it? I mean, a lot of thoughts were in my head. I don't even know how he got my watch. But again, I don't play too much. I'm not going to think too much of that. Put my trust in the man above, and
Amen.
Nothing will touch me because truth wins all the time.
Well, speaking of jewelry, I mean, we see a new Ryan Garcia here with the flashy King Ryan. So now you're comfortable with calling yourself the King. You run around with the crown on your chest there.
I mean, anybody who's read the Bible, we're all kings and queens under Jesus Christ. He's the King of Kings. So I could freely call myself a king with no conviction, because at the end of the day, I hold myself like that. And you're going to see the status I rise to and where I get to. You know, I'm going to carry myself like that, fair and firm, always.
You know, what we were saying before you came on is that you're looking ripped at 140. Yeah. Does that scare you to go back down to 135? You got to lose muscle,
you know
possibly?
What? I was thinking the other day, I might never go back to 135.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
I mean,
is this breaking news here?
No, you know what? It's just how my life is playing out. Both of the fights, Tegao and this fight, both times, you know, I was scheduled to fight at 135, but for some reason, you know, either that guy couldn't make weight or we agreed to catch weight. But this one in particular, with Fortuna, he couldn't make the weight. And I was determined to make 135. I would have made it easy. But it just feels better to be at 140. It doesn't make sense. I don't
Wait. What about not making sense? Let's address the elephant in the room. All of the big fights at 135, and especially the one that you've been calling for with Gervonta Davis.
Tank will fight me at 140. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What else? What about Devin?
Is that the only fight
Devin
that's
has
important
all
to you?
the belts.
No, but it doesn't matter, man. You guys put so much emphasis on these bouts, man. Let them go. They don't mean shit. Bouts don't mean shit nowadays. All that matters is about So if I beat Devin, they're gonna say go fight Tank. But if I beat Tank, they can't say shit.
Well, they're still tight. I mean, do you care?
Man.
I understand your position about the belt.
So I wouldn't be proud to say I'm undisputed if I beat Kambosos. I'm not going to be proud of that. I'm going to be proud once I beat everybody. That's when I'm going to be proud. That's when I raise my head up high. I don't care.
All right,
these
so
belts,
who do you consider as everybody?
I'm going to describe this perfectly for you in like not a parable but a metaphor. These belts have no substance. It's like wearing a chain, but it's not heavy. It's not real. These bouts have no substance. None of that means anything. All that matters is you beat the guy who's the man and who everybody thinks you can't beat, and then you make a bunch of money. The money lasts. The bouts don't mean nothing. They're going to shine all day. I don't care what anybody says. We're in this game. It's called prize fighting. It's entertainment, and you guys could put so much emphasis on these bouts. I don't care. You could have millions of comments that say, oh, why you don't got a bout? You don't got a bout, but I got millions of dollars. That's what I got.
No doubt. Apologize for the language, for the profanity.
I'm
folks.
I'm sorry.
But listen,
I'm turned up.
Ryan,
I need to work on that part of myself.
There's two sides to that, Ryan. I understand that when you're at your
care
level,
about the other side.
But when you were 10 years old, 11 years old, don't lie. Be honest about this. When you were at that age, did you dream about the belt?
Want me to show you a video when I was 8 years old? I said I want to make pro and I want to make the money. I never said I want to make pro and I want to be undisputed world champion.
Okay, so all right, forget about the belt. Forget about the belt.
I want to have the biggest
Devin Haney is somebody.
I want to be the biggest. I want to have the biggest platform, the biggest
so Hall of Fame doesn't mean it to
over
you. Hall
the
of
people,
Fame.
so they can know, truth, heart. You know what I mean? I want to get to a
at the end of the day, he's right.
That's what
it's about fighting the guys. It's about fighting the guys. But we believe Devin Haney is one of those guys. He's your nemesis from the amateurs.
I'm gonna beat his ass. Don't get that wrong.
So you will at 140. You're saying once you get to 140, at some point those guys are gonna get there, and you're gonna have to fight him. So it is important for you to fight him, just not for the belts and not at 135.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like it's not that I'm not desperate for a 135 bout. I'm desperate to make the biggest fights possible and to give the fans what they really want. Everywhere I walk in the streets, you need to know, put yourself in my shoes for just a second. Everywhere I walk, not one time do they mention Devin Haney. Every day I get mentioned Tank Davis. So if you don't think that I want to whoop that man the most so I could get my respect, That's what I'm coming for. I don't care about anything else.
Is Lomachenko on your list as well?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, so
because he gives me another reason. Because to me, he has 2 gold medals. He's so technical. To me, that would make me feel even more like, man, I would have got that. Because my dream was also to win a gold medal. Same feeling I had when I beat Luke Campbell. I was like, man, I could be a gold medalist. Now, if I beat Lomachenko, then I really would feel like I'm a gold medal. So that was my dream as a kid. Win a gold medal, then make a bunch of money in the pros. The bouts don't, to me, it doesn't mean anything. Like, the best fights, like me, Tank, that's a crazy fight for everybody in the whole world. Everybody's going to be watching. That's what I'm desperate for. I want to give the fans everything they want, and that's where my heart's at. That's where my heart's positioned at. But again, I don't want to worry about that. I'm worried about Fortuna.
All right, well, exactly. Let's rewind back to Fortuna. How do you rate him as a fighter on your list and your legacy?
You know what? Every fight is important. You know, definitely in my shoes, I can't take any fight lightly because even, as you see my last fight, I can't even afford a blowout 12-round. You know, I won every round, dropped them, hurt them 3 times. I can't even afford to do that. So every fight is important.
Maybe that's your fault because you're saying you going in there to knock him out.
Yeah, no, it could be my fault, but at the end of the day, you know, what fighter doesn't want to get a knockout?
No doubt.
I don't think it's fault.
No doubt.
I don't think it's only his fault. But
like,
even
you brave. You don't leave me hanging there, though.
You know what I mean? What fighter don't want to knock
But you're brave enough to say it.
Ryan,
I just say it.
But even if you don't say that, people expect that from Ryan because of the speed, because of the reputation. So are we going to expect
just like when
that
Tank couldn't knock out Cruz, they were like, oh, he's a bum.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so again, you went in there to knock Tego out. He survived for 12 rounds. We know Fortuna is not going to survive. Are we expecting a knockout from Ryan Garcia tomorrow night?
What I will do is, in my mind, eternally, I'm denying all thoughts of expectations going into the ring. I've already positioned my mind to do that. I personally just want to display my skill level that I know I've been doing in camp. I want to be happy about my performance, and you know, I want a knockout, but I want to display 2 things. My skill and a massive knockout. Now, if I don't get to knockout, but I boxed beautifully, you know, didn't get touched, was countering, never got tired, was always in control of the ring, I will be happy. But if I do that, there's a high chance he gets knocked out. There's about 99.9% chance he gets knocked out.
Okay.
You know, but let me breathe in there. Let me find it. You know what I mean? Let me focus. Let me get there, and I should do it. But again, if it don't happen, as long as I know I fought skillful, you know how nice I'm looking, reflex, everything, I'm gonna be a happy man. Made some great money, moving on to Tank, go beat his ass, go on to another guy, go beat another ass, go beat another buddy's ass. Everybody, line him up, beat him up, beat him up, knock him out, never stop talking. You can't make me stop talking. I'm a beast. I'm a beast.
You just took a little bit of pressure off yourself by saying, if I don't get the knockout, as long as I'm skillful, I like that. We look forward to the fight.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for taking the time, as always.
Love
Our
you guys.
guy.
You know
Love you too, champ. Appreciate it. Man.
Wow.
Just have fun in this shit.
Absolutely.
That was good. All right, we're good.
Boxing is the most honest sport. If you say you're a warrior, the truth comes out in the ring. I know that as long as I get to the ring, I'm gonna be great. But I can never underestimate anybody. If he makes it hard, so be it. I'm ready for it.
Ryan Garcia is being groomed for greatness. Can he do it as he takes on tougher and tougher competition?
I'm ready to show the world there's no limit to how good I could really be.
I did what I always do. Seek, destroy, take you away. But beautifully.